Hello, dear friends. We wholeheartedly welcome you all, esteemed delegates and friends, to Panorama International Literature Festival 2024, conducted by Writers' Capital International Foundation worldwide. I'm Secretary General and PILF Chief Coordinator Irene Doura Kavadia, extending you a warm embrace from Athens, Greece. Welcome to our live session, which is actually a celebration of literature and of life, because we at Writers' Capital bridge cultures and unite nations. Therefore, we have all joined in this realm where life meets literature in today's special session with renowned intellectuals, which means you. We have here today personalities from India. Most welcome, dearest friends. And let me tell you a couple of words on Panorama Literature Festival for our viewers. It is one of the two signature programs of Writers' Capital Foundation, along with Panorama Arts Festival, in which hundreds of writers from across the globe get together to mark yet another beginning of celebration of literature. Panorama Literature Festival is also a world record-winning program as the lengthiest multilingual literature festival where renowned literateurs participate from more than 87 countries. This is a feat, actually. At this point, I have the pleasure to deliver to you all the best wishes and the warm welcome of Preet Nambiar, our honorable founder, president of Writers' Capital Foundation and Panorama chairman, poet, author, educationist, and ardent humanitarian. The mastermind behind the Panorama Festival and also the highly inspirational theme of it, which hundreds of writers across the world have been able to delve into. In this session, the theme is Agni, the spark, or the element of fire, and you all have composed a work for eternity. Mr. Nambiar has also made efforts to inspire the young generation for a better planet, as school children and students have also been involved in the project titled Embers of Change, trying to turn words into action by contributing to a reduced carbon footprint. Today, we will present to you 5 honored delegates from India in a beautiful session curated by Dr. Paramita Mukherjee Mullick, and our distinguished delegates are Mr. Arindam Roy, Dr. Santosh Bakaya, Meher Pestonji, Manjula Asthana Mahanti, and Dr. Sonali Pattnaik. I hope I have read them right. And without further ado, let us now all indulge in your inspiring verses, thoughts, and mottos on the theme Agni, spark, the element of fire, into which since antiquity our forefathers have delved. Therefore, I now pass on the task of conducting this so special program to Dr. Paramita, who will curate this unique session. Dr. Paramita, the dice to you, dear.
Thank you so much, Professor Irene. I am honored and humbled to be here as the curator, and I'm so happy that 5 other wonderful poets from India has joined me today to be here in PILF, that is Panorama International Literature Festival 2024. Agni, or fire, is the firstborn of creation, according to the Rig Veda. It represents the pure and primordial energy of the universe that was created at the moment of Big Bang. And so here you had already named the wonderful poets. I will call upon each poet and I'll request you to read a poem on Agni or fire and make this beautiful evening more wonderful. So here is Mr. Arindam Roy. He is like an elder brother to me. He is a very well-known poet. He is a well-known journalist and a poet. And I'll just introduce him very shortly in very few words. Arindam Roy has over 40 years of experience in various newsrooms of renowned media houses. He is the founder, publishing director, editor-in-chief of Different Truths and Kavya Kumbh Publishing Consultant. He has co-authored 10 chapters and 6 coffee table books of national and international repute, and is the sole author of 2 forthcoming CTBs of Times Group. So, and there are a lot to talk about Arindam Da, but I will request Arindam Da to talk a little about Agni, what he feels about fire or Agni, and then read his poem about Agni. Arindam Da, over to you.
Good evening, Paramita. Thanks for inviting me. I thank Preet, Nambiar, Irene, Professor Irene, Santosh, Meher, Manjula, Sonali, and everyone, It is wonderful to be with all of you. I'm meeting Sonali for the first time, but we have known each other before. So, yes, while I was asked to write the poem, or when I was thinking of doing the poem, I also went to the Vedas, and I kind of did a thing of, I brought together a synthesis of the story of the creation of our universe. Okay. And I've tried to bring in elements of physics along with poetry together. So this is a thing that I've tried in this, and you as a science person would appreciate it, as well as quite a few of you, I'm sure. And this poem of mine is in 3 languages. Towards the very end, few words are in Hindi, and there's a couple of lines of songs which I've quoted from Tagore. So, and everything is on fire theme. So without wasting much time, I'll now go straight away to the poem. And here is the poem. A cosmic ballet of fire and life. Was Brahma an unburdened fire power, or was he a product of that fire power? Was he slumbering in some black hole? Did he defy time, space, existence? These and many more questions have had and shall have elusive answers. Whispering stars met in the silence of the night in endless space. The embers danced. Stars twinkled for bursting into flames, a twirling ballet of fusion. It hummed, enticed by heat's allure. Hydrogen gave birth to gigantic structures, centers of molten gold, atoms collided, and helium danced like a flaming cloak. The physics of the universe outweighed the metaphysics. Perhaps these existed before darkness, light, fire, water, life, and death. A waltz of light and darkness unfolded. Stars collapsed. Gravity tightened its grip. The night was shattered. Billions of suns exploded in cosmic war when the deafening sound of supernova ripped to the mighty vacant space. A new light painted the black canvas with flying embers amidst pirouetting shockwaves. The energy of zillions of nuclear explosions birthed our sun with planet and moons, all were ablaze, firewalls big and small. These orbited in ellipticals, fires around the fire. Fireballs repelled and attracted fireballs. Nebula engulfed in stardust fire emerged from these dispersed ashes, forming galaxies. Planets embraced the ocean streams. Lives arose from ashes. Like a phoenix, it reached out its tendrils toward the sun. Brahma spoke through each spark in the sky where fire danced. Human beings, the stardust, echoed the first furnace in the cosmic fireball tale. Our lives, yours and mine, like 1,000 fireflies in a cosmic labyrinth, flickered and died. Come, look up into the stars. Symphonies. Just a minute. Symphonies of stars burn bright. Millions of... I think I've lost it. Just a minute. Okay. Millions and millions of oil lamps glitter in the sky. They kept a secret of the joyous dance. We, the cosmic embers, burn brightly. Each of us is a blazing fireball of bhuk, vasna, irsha, avidya, adharma, dhoka, vishwasgat, himsa, kshama, gyan, dharma, prem, vatsalya, ahimsa, chetna. And a distant Ramindra Sangeet, আগুনের পরশমণি ছোঁয়াও প্রাণে এ জীবন পূর্ণ করো দহন দানে. And my translation of these lines: in your fiery crucible, you forge my soul anew, a molten bloom of consciousness bathed in sacrifices you. Thank you very much.
How beautiful, wonderful.
Thank you.
It's amazing, and how you have brought the concept of fire, and how you then did with Rabindranath Tagore's beautiful lines, Aguner Poroshmoni Choao Prane. It was so wonderful to listen to you, Arindam Da. And like you said, like it is not only like, I loved some of your lines where you said that fire, like a new light embellished the black canvas. When, like, you know, when light came and when fire came and the universe was born. So you gave us a wonderful thought and wonderful expression of, poetic expression of the formation of the universe. Now, fire has always been the central to all Vedic rituals. Agni, the fire god, is one of the most prominent deities of the Veda. And we know that fire symbolizes purity. Fire symbolizes purity. It has a purifying role. So here again, we move on to our next wonderful poet, Dr. Santosh Bakaya, and we love to listen to your thought on Agni and your reading of your poem. And before that, I want to, Santosh ma'am doesn't need any introduction, nor does Arindam Da, but I'll just give a very short introduction about Santosh ma'am. Dr. Santosh Bakaya is a poet, essayist, biographer, novelist, TEDx speaker, creative writing mentor. She's an award-winning writer who has written 25 well-acclaimed books in different genres. And here is Dr. Santosh Bakaya for you all. Ma'am, please, over to you.
Thank you so much, Paramita. And Arindam Roy ji, your poem was so profound. I really loved it. Thanks, Panorama International Literature Festival. Thanks, Preet Nambiarji, Professor Irene, and of course, Dr. Paramita Mukherjee Mullick. I keep forgetting whether we have met in real life. Arindam Roy, and let me reiterate, your poem was wonderful. Thank you, Meher Pestonji, Manjula Asthana ji, and Dr. Sonali Pattnaik. I had a talk with her in the morning. It is her anniversary today, marriage anniversary, by the way. What an honor it is to be part of this sparkling festival, rubbing shoulders with such wonderful poets. And it is very cold here these days, and fire is the need of the hour. Just outside my house, some laborers are sitting around a bonfire, and I yearn for a kangri. You, of course, know what a kangri is. It's an earthen pot made of wicker, filled with hot embers, used by Kashmiris. I'm a Kashmiri, by the way, under the Ferran Orklo. And the poem that I am going to read is The Fire of Life. I wrote it last night. The Fire of Life. The moon made grotesque faces, smirking at me through the window. Was it trying to hint at something? Something strange coming my way? Banshees shrieked at the tops of their voices. Their screams calloused my eardrums. Was death going round in circles, round and round and round and round and round, jumping through circles of fire. Was life slipping out of me or just taking me for a ride? Well, wasn't life a rickety ride anyway? Going up and down and up, caught in a turbulence, jumping, stumping folks by its weird antics. I could see tongues of fire everywhere. Fire on the mountain, run, run, run. Fire on the mountain, run, run, run. Who was humming this childhood chant? Who was it? Who was it? I was stunned. What did I see? Three silhouettes suddenly appearing and chanting. We weird sisters, hand in hand, swift travelers over the sea and land, dance around and around like so, 3 times to yours and 3 times to mine, and 3 times again to add up to 9. Enough, the charm is ready. Enough, the charm is ready. Would I now be thrown into a bubbling cauldron to suffer a fiery annihilation? Fire on the mountain, run, 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 run. Ah, the night was over. The night was over. The night was over. It had played strange tricks, scaring me by its nocturnal histrionics. Was I still alive? Was I still alive despite the sister's charm? Yes, I was. There was a ball of fire. There was a ball of fire in the east. There was a ball of fire in the east. The three sisters had crept back into the pages of Macbeth, taking the fiery cauldron with them. But there was a fire in my belly. There was a fire in my belly. There was a fire in my belly and an inner flame that no evil charm could douse. I was on fire. I was on fire. The fire was in me. Thank you.
We know that there's a fire in you always, and it's so beautiful a poem. Oh my God, it's amazing, amazing poem.
Thank you.
And so thank you so much, Santosh ma'am. Even in all cultures and all religions, we see fire is a very, very important thing. The Zoroastrian place of worship is called Fire Temple or Agyari. And in Mumbai, we have many, many Agyaris, and they perform their prayers in presence of fire, as Meher ma'am will tell you. And in ancient Iran, the head of the family had to keep on having the fire, kept the fire burning. So, the fire had to be lit, and it was a tradition. It had to continue. So I think it comes from that tradition that the Agyari fire is always burning. I hope I'm right, Meher ma'am. And so this beautiful religion of Zoroastrianism, where they have the fire temple, and we move on to Meher ma'am, Meher Pestonji, and I will request you to read a poem on fire. And before that, I thank Professor Irene and Preet Nambiar for making me the curator. I'm so honored and humbled to be the curating such wonderful poets today and bringing all together. Yes, Santosh. Yes, Meher ma'am.
Thank you, Paramita. Thank you, Irene, Preet, and all the poets present. It's good to be among all of you. And thanks for your introduction to Zoroastrianism also, Paramita. I have a different way. I have a different way of interpreting fire, which is I see fire as a source of light, heat, and energy. So it is without light, heat, and energy, there can be no life. And I think it is from these elements that the original prophets also realized something of this. And that is how in the old days when everything was a jungle, fire was the one thing that kept at night. It gave light. It kept away wild animals. So it provided security. And it gave heat when it was cold. So those are the elements of fire, which I play with in my poems too. So I have my poem doesn't have a title as such, but I'll read it anyway. Fire warms, illuminates, energizes. It tenderizes meat. It toughens steel. It purifies gold. It is a force to be feared, admired, but controlled. Or it can burn, burn, burn. Forest fire. When forest flames surround me and terrified animals flee, I must hold to the ground that nurtures roots. From ashes, new life abounds. Thank you.
I just loved, and in fact, all of us loved the way you talked about fire, a source of light, heat, and energy. And very well said, when we have to control fire. That was something a very important aspect of fire. It has to be controlled, and very well said. And with this, I remember, like when the early man, they discovered fire. Fire was a great discovery towards civilization. Fire was a great discovery towards civilization. When early man, they were just rubbing stones, and one day a spark came, and then they discovered fire. So I remember that, and it's such a wonderful thing. Fire. Now we know that, in all religions, like I was saying, the Christians, the Chinese, the Hebrews consider fire as being the symbol of divinity. And so this divine force or divine fire is talked about today, Agni. We move on to our next poet, Manjula Asthana Mahanti. Manjula, ma'am, I've met you so many times, and I wish I could meet you this time in Bhubaneswar, but I'm not going for this Toshali, so I'm so sorry. And I'll just... Sorry, please pardon me. Yes. A few words about Manjula Didi. She's a published trilingual poet, author, editor, translator, and storyteller. She has 11 collections to her credit, along with a long list of participation in national, international anthologies, e-zines, and webinars, etc. And she has a number of awards to her credit. So we move on to Manjula Asthana Mahanti. Manjula, ma'am, over to you.
Thank you, Paramita. I also have met you so many times. Each time I find you a new form of yours. And I love it. Okay. So I wish all of us, first of all, give me excuse that my throat is very bad. I am having very sore throat. So speech may be not clear. So each time whenever I meet Paramita, I love her the most. She is very nice girl. And all the participants here, I wish you greetings and best wishes. And thank you so much for inviting me here and giving me opportunity to meet all of you and present something here. And since I can't speak much, I will directly go to my poem. Okay? I say it's Agni. Agni is an element, a very divine element for us, I think. And it can be in and out with everybody also. It can be used as a thought also. Isn't it? We say that the fire is inside me, that I want to do that. And it is inspiring, it is inspiring element also. So I will just read the poem. I will not explain anything. So Agni. A spark is indispensable. A spark is indispensable for those who have ambitions. A spark is indispensable for those who have ambitions. Inner fire pushes to budge. Fire furnishes with life to the dream. She knows how to rise and grow. Dance huddling, serial dance. The spark becomes enormous very soon. Taps into the boundaries of creativity. It must be tempered, lest it leaves its bounds, because it's creative yet destroyer too. Dreams come true till the fire ablaze. One follows her directions to fulfill one's dreams, but it should be controlled with purpose. It's true regarding word too. Word is running without targeting the consequences. His own deeds aggravating nature. Our word will now be different. Air, fire, water, vital tools of nature. At present, world is facing problem of global warming. Does anyone know the methods of prevention? Almost everyone, but still ignorant about the power of fire. Fire can destroy order or create chaos. It can spread despair instead of hope. Soon the world will be so warm that it will be difficult to survive. It's time to be vigilant, alert. Fire must be used for procreation. Proper corrective actions are desired. Each one has the fire within. Use your inner fire fruitfully to inspire the world. Pass on the spark. Pass on the spark, as fire is very important element amongst our 5 vital elements, should be kept alive and active, as those elements are essence of life. The fire too. Thank you.
Thank you. Lovely. Yes, you've talked about inner fire and you've metaphorically talked about fire many times, like how we should control our inner fire, and our ambition is also a kind of fire. So beautifully written. Thank you, Manjula Di.
Very bad throat. Sorry.
Do take care. Yeah, do take care. This season, everybody is having a sore throat. Yeah. So do take care, Manjula Di. Now we move on to the youngest member today, Dr. Sonali Pattnaik, the pretty girl. I've never met you, Sonali, but I really want to meet you one day. So here is Sonali, and I will read out her profile. Dr. Sonali Pattnaik is an award-winning poet, academic, educator, and visual artist. Yes, she's a lovely painter. I've seen your paintings on Facebook. She is the author of When the Flowers Begin to Speak. Her poetry and art have appeared in several international and national print anthologies and journals. She is currently completing her book on gender and Bollywood cinema, forthcoming from Orient Black Swan. This will be very interesting, Sonali. We're looking forward to this book of yours. And here is Sonali Pattnaik for you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Paramita. It's always a pleasure interacting with you. Thank you so much, dear poets, all of you who are gathered here. I feel extremely privileged to be a part of this very, very beautiful gathering of such renowned and powerful and what should I say, extremely humanitarian also voices from all that I have heard so far and have read of all of you. Thank you so much, PILF, for giving me this opportunity. I do want to say Santosh called me this morning to wish me. So I'm really, really grateful because this is the kind of community. Yes, I was very touched that, she knew it was my anniversary. So thank you so much for that special note of love. Thank you so much. Yeah, this means a lot to me. And I think this is what we need going forward in this world, which often falls apart as we are watching it. So I have, yeah. So I
Sorry,
have.
I haven't wished you happy
Thank
anniversary.
you. No, thank you. You've given me a
Sorry.
beautiful gift,
Sorry.
Paramita. No, thank you. You've given me this
Happy
very.
anniversary, Sonali.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much, all of you. So I have two very short poems. I have my understanding of fire very interestingly overlaps with a lot of what I have heard here, and extremely so with Santosh's poem, because I don't know if this is some kind of cosmic coming together or some kind of intuitive connection, because the poem that I'm first going to read is also about Macbeth's witches, characters who have always fascinated me as a scholar of literature and a teacher of literature, because I think there is so much potential and power in what the witches stand for. So the way I look at fire is as a metaphor of transformation, subversion, resistance to oppression, resistance to patriarchal ways of thinking, as well as a deep femininity that women are deeply connected with fire in so many cultures. I mean, we can think of Sita walking through fire, and we can think of several examples like that. So for me, fire is also fire of femininity and fire of subversion and resistance in that sense. So the poem I'm reading for you is called Fair is Foul. And in that sense, it's also a literary act of revisiting a classic text. And in that sense, it has the power of the transformation of fire, because in fire, you put something in and something else emerges. So that's also what we do in an act of reading, I feel. And this is an act of rereading. So in that sense, transformative fire. So it's called Fair is Foul. Fair is foul, foul is fair, they croaked the witches three. And the professor said it was horror, that it was premonition and supernatural. Also, a kind of subversion that being women and outlaws, they sit at the fringes of society and yet know the truth somehow before it comes to pass. A tragedy, this, because it is a mockery of power and control. A comedy as they are laughable, and yet they laugh. I followed them home as they gathered up their things, sticks, pots, and inks, and packed up their spells. One had to hear from her husband that she had burnt the soup by overstirring and had the cauldron turned upon her. The other had a court order served where the man who had tried to kill her child as a fetus was trying her for defamation, saying she cast a spell on him, turned white her burnt face on a date night. The third attended a group therapy session where she spoke of how, when she was little, her grandfather touched her wrong, but her parents called her a liar when she complained. So she burned. She knew early what equivocation meant. The next day, they returned to the forest, the burns on their faces concealed, their eyes tired from lack of sleep, their hearts broken, and their voices joined in a chorus as the three recited together, "Foul is fair, fair is foul." And a man full of his own want happened to cross their path. So I rewrote my answer. I joined in their laughter. I picked up a pen, letting my voice bleed into the bubbling cauldron. Fair is foul, foul is fair indeed. The words churned. I too was a witch who could now read the future. Thank you. Thank you. I do want to read a very short poem, and this is Fire as Light, Fire as Illumination as well, which is
What a powerful poem. What a powerful poem.
Thank you.
Wonderful,
Thank you.
wonderful. Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Thank you. And this is a short poem. It's called Light, something that I feel we all need in dark times. And that's also what fire gives us. Oh, don't be so surprised. Fear and hatred have always traveled faster than light. Light will come through. Drowning all your sound and fury, light must come through. Broken, perhaps, but in time. I'd say thank you so much. Thank you for listening.
Wonderful. It was lovely listening to you,
Thank you
Sonali.
so much.
Wonderful poems, wonderful poems. And Professor Irene, if you allow me, I'll just read one of my poems about fire. After the powerful poems of Sonali, I'll go to a very normal kind of fire. I was very inspired. Last vacation, we had gone to Lausanne and we went to the Olympic Museum. My daughter forced us to go to the Olympic Museum. And, you know, I've never thought about the Olympic flame as anything but just a flame, you know. And then when I went through the museum, the history of the Olympic flame, it really inspired me a lot because it is a symbolism, it is symbolic of the Olympic movement. And Olympic movement is nothing but friendship all around the world. It's unity, it's friendship, it's excellence. It symbolizes many things. This flame symbolizes excellence. This flame symbolizes unity, friendship, and many, many other good values. So I was very charmed with this Olympic fire, Olympic flame. So I wrote this poem, Olympic Flame. Olympic flame, the symbol of the Olympic movement to spread peace and the world's betterment. Yes, Olympic movement always talks about how to make this world better. So to spread peace and the world's betterment. The auspicious flame is lit at Olympia, Greece. Before every Olympic game, it is the game's official release. The flame is carried in a torch all the way to the site, in an Olympic torch relay, and the flame is kept alive with all might. You won't believe, you know, we went through different kinds of torches where they have, you know, tried to innovate new kinds of torches where they can travel, the flame can travel all the way to the Olympic city where the Olympic is happening, the game is happening from Olympia. So, you know, different innovations, about 100 torches we saw. So the flame is carried in a torch all the way to the site in an Olympic torch relay, and the flame is kept alive with all might. Different innovative torches have been made all through the years to ensure that the flame is burning, so the special gears. Lighting the Olympic cauldron by the flame, dazzling up the game of unity and fame. The Olympic flame reminds us of the sacred fire in old Olympia, every 4 years when Zeus was honored in the ancient games. Fires were lit in his temple and of his wife Hera. The divinity of fire has been respected for long. A group of women dressed as the Vestal Virgins perform a celebration, and then the rituals begin. A parabolic mirror converges the rays of the sun. This way the flame is lit, and then starts the relay and run. The high priestess presents a Greek athlete the torch and an olive branch. The athlete starts the Olympic torch relay for the games to launch. The flame of hope and happiness goes from one hand to another, taking forward the values of the Olympic movement and making them stronger. The fire burning through the duration of the games, the brilliant athletes and sportsmen, all great names. This flame upholding the values of the Olympic movement, values promoting excellence, respect, and friendship at every bend. So this Olympic flame was a fire which I remembered when the theme of today's event was Agni. I thought, you know, I was so inspired by the Olympic flame that I wrote this poem. Thank you so much. Professor Irene, we would love to listen to a poem from you.
First of all, I would like to say that I'm really touched that you mentioned the Olympic flame, which is, of course, from my country, from our country, Greece. My mother used to live very near the place called Olympia, where the flame was lit. Of course, it was really, very touching thing now that you said to us. And it really inspires people to stay together in brotherhood and love, in unity. So you can understand when people come from this place that promotes unity, it is instilled within us. And that is why I also represent this kind of unity and brotherhood and solidarity across borders. It is actually the something that has been based and has been planted within all the Greeks, actually, and also the hospitality of Zeus, because Zeus was the god of hospitality too, not only the Almighty that had the power over humans and gods, but he also was a very good tutor how to show people to be hospitable. And of course, in an ancient culture like ours, we also have this demigod that brought the fire to the Greeks and to the whole humanity, and his name was Prometheus. Prometheus stole the fire, the divine fire, from the Mount Olympus, and he brought it to the people. So he was actually sacrificing himself. He knew that he would be found out, and then he had punishment to undergo. But still, he did that and gave it to us people so that we can, like Meher said, be heated and make our food tender and everything. And you also mentioned all the good things of fire as well. On the other hand, of course, you have mentioned so well that there is the other side of the coin, and fire can be destructive. And therefore, that is why we also have this global warming, because we keep burning our forests, even by chance or deliberately. So bottom line is that forests are diminishing, and therefore we have these catastrophic events, and of course the carbon footprint that we all produce. So I think that whatever I've heard today has made me really feel how in alignment we all are. I don't know if it is a special bond between us. I think so. And even if it doesn't exist, it does appear. Yes. So it is kind of touching. And whatever I've heard from you, I don't know if you have more poems to say or if you have something else to tell us. I mean, it's been a wonderful session that I really liked, and I think I'm privileged to be here with all of you today. And one thing that I wanted to say also is how it seems that our cultures are so close together, because our ancestors did delve into such profound matters like the elements of nature, and we could talk about it for days on. I believe it is actually a close relationship between our cultures, and I'm so proud of being here with you, sharing the same views.
Professor Irene, I'm
yes,
so much happy that you have explained everything so nicely. I agree with your thought. It's very beautifully you explained everything.
Thank you so much. It was actually what you said that inspired me to bring in my thoughts here. I don't usually intervene in the live sessions. I leave all the delegates say what they want to say. I just, in the end, wrap up the session. But now you have inspired me so much. Thank you. Thank you. And of course, it was the spark from Olympia, the spark from Greece as well, that I wanted to share with everybody.
That is natural. It's your own thing. You will be definitely be fascinated by that. That's quite natural. And moreover, it's a world-renowned thing.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
In fact, this year's PLIF's theme is Agni, fire. So it's such a wonderful theme, and it's really, really something, a very unique type of theme where we came up with wonderful topics, wonderful thoughts, and Irene, Professor Irene, we would love to listen to one of your poems.
I don't have one here
Okay,
for
yeah.
fire. I'm sorry about that, because I thought I would give you the space for this. So
Okay.
actually, it's your session, and I don't want to
Okay.
take up any more of your precious time. Maybe there is something else that we would like to say. I mean, a second poem, we have the time. If somebody has another poem to share, we do have the
Irene?
time. Hello,
Yeah.
hello,
Hello,
Arindam.
Irene. There was another poem which I had written quite some time back, but since it was for another anthology, I didn't bring it here. This is the story, just as you have said, in Indian mythology, fire is called Agni. The Sanskrit word is Agni, and Agni is married to Swaha. Swaha is the daughter of one of the planets, Jupiter, Brihaspati. So Jupiter's daughter and Agni are married, and whenever any worship or any offerings are made, we generally say Swaha.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
It was a longish poem, so I won't waste much time. But there I had talked about the complete story of Agni Swaha, how they met, what all happened. So that was another poem. But of course, we don't have time for such a long poem. But
you mentioned Jupiter.
Jupiter,
Yes.
Yeah.
For us, it is the representation of Zeus, what we said before.
Yeah,
So it's pretty much the same.
Yeah, because you see the Greco-Roman iconography,
yes,
and
exactly.
the Hindu iconography, we crisscross at many points. And in one of
true.
the reports, which was All Edition Times of India, where I was working, I had done a story about the white lion of Durga. She's the goddess, warrior goddess.
Goddess, yes.
And this had come from Nayana, a Greek goddess. And I had traced the complete sort of story of how, the Durga lion, the white lion, is an import directly from the Greek.
Wonderful, wonderful. We would like to hear it one day. Why not? In another session, of course.
Sure.
We'll have another thematic, but it can also be there. Why not?
Sure.
Congratulations for the
Thank
wonderful
you very much.
literary works. Somebody else that would like to say something, another poem perhaps, or what fire represents in general? I also liked the poem about the witches. It is really something that no one else has actually spotted, this particular thing. Congratulations for mentioning this wonderful part of fire in the good and the bad sense as well.
Thank you so much, Irene. I think Santosh's poem also mentioned the witches, and
yes, of course.
Two of you mentioned it.
And I think
Santosh and Sonali.
Everything has got two sides. Everything has got two sides always.
Absolutely. And I actually don't even think of them as two sides, because it's often destruction that makes creation, and, transformation, birth, destruction. These are all related. So for me, the witch's cauldron is like the fiery imagination of whether it is gender identity or poetic identity.
At that particular moment, whatever you are thinking, that money catches your whole interest and your attention.
Absolutely.
You walk on the same line.
Absolutely. Even Sita had to go through a trial by fire. So in that sense, if you could look at it as
Agni is supposed to be very pure.
Yes.
And the gold is put in the fire to find its purity. It is also there.
Absolutely.
So I couldn't say anything. I wanted to say something, but I couldn't say anything. I couldn't read even properly. But anyway.
But I think you read very well. I'm sure everyone would agree, but it was beautiful. I'm listening to you for the first time, and it was absolutely beautiful.
Thank you so much.
One thing that I would like also to mention is that previously I talked to you about the hospitality of god Zeus. And by the way, in June, at the end of June, we're going to have here the award ceremony, the Starlit Award ceremony for the Panorama awardees, and also to present the Quill Compendium and everything. So you're cordially invited here to our country, to Greece, to savor this hospitality and perhaps also connect it somehow with a week of vacation. It would be great here. It would be great to have you all here. That would be a major thing for us to embrace people that we see online from far away and having them so close to our hearts and now close in our lives too. It's a wonderful thing that we will also have here, and I wanted to share this thing with you. I also want to share with you another important thing. Just a minute now. It is about, like I said, the Quill Compendium. The Quill Compendium is our very beautiful book magazine that it's going to come out, and it will be dedicated to the Panorama Festival. So in this session, we proudly announce the Quill Compendium 2024 Volume 1, the captivating literary venture affiliated with the renowned Panorama International Literature Festival. This vibrant publication is said to be a multicolored masterpiece designed to international standards. It features significant writers and distinguished delegates who grace the Panorama International Literature Festival, ensuring a global reach as the book is distributed across the world. Its unique advantages lie in two things. First of all, in its dual format, as it will be available both online and in print, providing a diverse audience with convenient access. Plus, Writer's Edition feature. Articles published in the book will be showcased in our prestigious online magazine, Writer's Edition, attracting thousands of readers globally. And the surprises do not end here. We're also embarking on an exciting endeavor, the establishment of Lovedale, which is kind of a code name, and it refers to the headquarters of the Writers' Capital International Foundation, situated in the culturally rich city of Mysore in India. Lovedale is not just a building. It is a visionary project designed to provide a haven for our members, a place to pause, recharge, and reconnect with their essence, regardless of nationality, class, religion, whatever. The Lovedale aims to be a unifying space for everyone. We all talked about unity today, so I had to give you that too. Furthermore, Lovedale envisions various community projects, including an old age home, orphanage, and initiatives aimed at uplifting society by God's grace. Your support, whether moral or otherwise, is crucial for the success of these ventures. Together, we can make a significant difference in the lives of those in need. You mentioned humanitarian voices. It is exactly that. These voices are uniting themselves in this realm. So bottom line, words ignite fire. I've heard you all, and you have all ignited the spark in the same or different way. So true. Really, what wonderful, crisp verses we all indulged in today. In fact, so melodious and so profound. In a multilingual festival like Panorama, all languages seem like a bouquet of fresh flowers budding in the sunlight. Poetry unites us all, giving us wings to fly across all borders, and we're all the proof. Your inspiring prompts through literature towards environmental awareness and with the aim to protect nature are really monumental and the proof. Spark igniting. so much in alignment with the vision and mission of the Writers' Capital International Foundation. We are so happy and proud that your voice has been heard in more than 80 countries across the globe, along with the messages you wish to convey towards a better planet. Please continue conveying these mighty values of humanity: love, solidarity, brotherhood, humanitarian values, world peace. We thank each one of you, esteemed delegates and dear friends. We thank the curator of today's session, Dr. Paramita Mukherjee, for bringing us all these beautiful people together who have transcended the barriers, the borders, and given us all their beautiful literary works, their gems. We also thank our viewers from across the globe for watching us. Before parting with you, we call you all to join us in Writers' Capital Foundation, embracing this massive social change. Become a member, a proud member of the Writers' Capital, and let us join hands and forces for a better future of us all. From me, it's a goodbye, but we promise to unite ourselves in the realm of literature again real soon. Thank you all for being here today. It's been a pleasure and a privilege.
Thank you. Wonderful meeting
Professor
all of you.
Irene. Thank you,
Thank you
Arindam,
so much.
Sonali, Manjula, Dev, Santosh ma'am, and Meher ma'am. Thank you.
Everyone.
Thank you,
All the
Irene.
best.
Thank you, Paramita. Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much to everyone.
Yes,
And
Sonali.
it's a pleasure.
Love to
It's
you all.
pleasure, it's honor to be here with all of you and enjoy and talk so much. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, all of you. Thank you,
Thank you so
Professor
much.
Irene. Lovely to
Bye.
meet you. Bye, bye, bye. Take care.